Today on Us Weekly's Love Lives, Jessica Simpson reveals how she and Eric Johnson keep their romance alive with 3 kids.
Our kids respect that. If we need time, we'll be like, Mommy, Daddy need time. Don't go on this side of the house for an hour.
Nikki Bella sets a wedding date and Kim K gushes about Pete. And Katie Maloney gives all the details on her split from Tom Schwartz, and Scott Disick opens up about Kourtney and Travis's whirlwind romance.
I think that this actually shows growth on Scott's part to be like, hey, but it took something so drastic to actually, shake him into reality and say, hey, you had so many chances to step it up. And now Kourtney is moving on.
Plus, we look back at Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck's relationship as they get engaged again. We've got that plus so much more on today's Us Weekly Love Lives. Hey everyone, Christina Garibaldi here, and welcome to Us Weekly Love Lives, a brand new show where we break down all the latest Hollywood couple news, from the hookups to the breakups to everything in between. And to help me do that, I am so excited to be joined by Alessandra Conti. She is the co-founder and celebrity matchmaker at Matchmakers in the City, which is a personal matchmaking firm. Alessandra, I am so excited to do this with you.
I'm so excited to be here, Christina.
Before we get into all of the relationship news of the week, I would love for you to tell our viewers a little bit about yourself.
Yes. So I am a celebrity matchmaker here at Matchmakers in the City. I've been a celebrity matchmaker for 10 years and we're based in Beverly Hills. I was a matchmaker for 2 seasons of MTV's Are You the One? So a lot of different fun matchmaking, dating advice. And I'm so excited to break all of these celebrity relationships down with you.
Definitely. Well, let's get right into it. Let's start with the biggest relationship news of the week. And we have a lot to get to, kicking off with Nikki Bella, who actually revealed exclusively to Us Weekly that she and Artem have finally set a wedding date. She told us that they plan to tie the knot in the fall of 2022, that they started looking at venues. But she has been really candid in the past about why she has delayed her wedding over the past 2 years. And it's not just because of COVID. She said, once I had Mateo and I started to raise him, I was like, when I say I do, I want to make sure it's forever. I know there are things that Artem wants to, like he really wants his parents who live in Russia to be there, but also overall, I don't want my son to go through a divorce. I feel like she's talked about this quite a bit in the past. And what are your thoughts on her being honest about unsure maybe that Artem was the one?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that she's very brave to be open about her uncertainty because it's something that is almost taboo to talk about, that people have uncertainty in relationships, but that is such a normal part of a healthy relationship. So there's this amazing Dr. John Gray. He wrote Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. And he talks about the 5 stages of a healthy relationship. Mm-hmm. And literally one of the stages is indecision. Mm-hmm. So the fact that Nikki was open about being like, hey, I want to make sure, I don't know. Mm-hmm. I love that she's being open about that.
I love that too, because I feel like you don't find a lot of people talking about that, at least like so publicly, because, obviously when you put a ring on your finger, you're like, okay, that's it. That's the person I want to marry. But she's like, at least being open, being like, I don't want to get a divorce. I want this to be my forever. And I have to make sure I'm 100% into this. I mean, if you were Artem, would that be a red flag for you?
I mean, I don't think at all it should be a red flag. If anything, it shows maturity. Yeah. And it shows that this is not, she's not coming into the relationship with rose-colored goggles. Mm-hmm. She's coming in very realistically, being like, hey, I want this to work. I'm not 150% sure, but I want to put in the work, make it happen. And before we say I do, I want to just put everything on the table and make sure that this is forever, especially because they have a child. So,
right. I'm excited to see that wedding, and hopefully they film it all and we'll be able to see it.
Oh my gosh.
Well, somebody that the family that is heading back to our screens are, of course, the Kardashians, and Scott Disick is opening up about how hard it has been to watch his ex Kourtney move on with Travis Barker. In an episode of the Kardashians, he said it was a huge adjustment losing Kourtney romantically, but now it has become a huge adjustment losing her as sort of a best friend. Now we are really more co-parents. I would say it was probably one of the more difficult things in my life. Kourtney has all the right to despise me for the way I treated her because I was horrible. Like that wouldn't go on today for a day, but it went on for years. And then Kourtney opened up in the episode saying that she wants to live in the present instead of the past, saying Scott and I have been broken up for 7 years and I gave him 10 years before that. So why is everyone making such a big deal about this? Let's just not hate on a girl who finally knows what she deserves. Yes, Courtney.
Amen,
Yes.
Courtney. Yes. Yes. Oh, amen.
Finally. I mean, I get it. It's got to be so difficult for Scott to watch this happen. But like he admitted, he's had the chances and he just never kind of stepped up.
He had so many years. And I mean, I think that this actually shows growth on Scott's part to be like, hey, but it took something so drastic to actually, shake him into reality and say, hey, you had so many chances to step it up. And now Courtney is moving on.
Yeah.
And it's not like she did it overnight. Like she said, she had so many years.
So many years, and in a way you feel bad for him, but a way you don't, because like you said, he's got these chances. And now that they're transitioning into more of a co-parenting relationship, and that's got to be strange for him because not only is he best friends with Courtney, he's also really close with the entire family. So that has to be awkward as well. And I believe he says in the episode, like, I would rather be included in everything than not, because these people are still my family.
Yeah. And Scott has dealt with a lot of loss in his life with the loss of his parents. So it makes sense that he would totally latch on to the Kardashians. And also the Kardashians are known for, once they have somebody in their clan, like unless that person literally does something completely, but even if they do something completely unforgivable, like, the Kanye situation, they are so forgiving and it's almost like the mafia. Like when you're in the Kardashian clan, like you are going to be in for life, especially when you're a father of one of the children. But yeah, I mean, it must be very difficult for Scott to be going through this. But at the same time, it's managing like, Scott, hey, you had so many chances. You should have stepped up. Courtney gave you so many years. So now you have to, face the music and deal with repercussions.
Yeah, definitely. I would love to know what everybody in the comments has to say about this. Are you team Courtney, team Scott and all this? And, let us know what you guys think. But moving on to another couple that are going through a split, and that is Katie Maloney from Vanderpump Rules. She's providing some details on her split from husband Thomas Schwartz, saying that she started doubting their relationship toward the end of last summer and fall. And she said during the We Met at Acme podcast that the pair had changed and grown apart, noting that their marriage wasn't the healthiest thing for either of them. She said, I was dying inside because I had already just been thinking about it day and night and losing sleep over it. And I couldn't keep doing that to myself. I needed just to get it off my chest and be able to be honest and move forward. She added that when she told Tom, he didn't fight her on it. He was really sad. And she said that she's now looking to date again. And she wants someone who's going to prioritize her and support her feelings and emotions. Someone who doesn't prioritize, partying. So it seems like maybe that was a little hint as to maybe why they split.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And I think that Katie, just to come to that after so many years of being together, and being married that's so challenging. And the fact that she was losing sleep over it. I mean, that she has a lot of, I give her a lot of respect for standing up and saying, hey, I'm no longer a priority. And that's also something that's so common when you see, the divorce rate is incredibly high, but especially when it comes to celebrity relationships. And this couple, they've been together through the beginning of their fame, the middle of their fame, and, who knows what's going to happen in terms of fame and in terms of success, but they've been together for so long. So in order to sustain that relationship, it's not only a normal relationship of like a normal husband-wife situation, it's also dealing with all of the different changes and transformation that fame brings onto the table. And clearly, Tom has been prioritizing other elements of his life. And and the fact that Katie said that, like that partying was a priority. I mean, yeah, I think more is going to come out as this kind of unfolds just because they're not exactly the most private couple,
Right. Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, like you said, we've watched their relationship kind of grow on Vanderpump. And even over the course of the last season, a lot of business kind of got in the way with his business with Tom Sandoval and everything like that. And he was always kind of leaning towards taking Tom's side rather than his wife. So I think maybe that have something to do with it. And another layer to all of this is that they are still living together at the moment.
Oh my God.
Which has to not be probably the healthiest thing for a split. She said that things are going okay, but it's just got to be awkward at times.
Yeah. I mean, the living together, I would not recommend anyone going through any kind of split, any divorce, especially to be living together. It's so important to, as soon as you decide to consciously uncouple, as you know, right. But as soon as you decide to uncouple, it's important to take that space. And especially in your living environment, so many experts agree that once you make the decision to separate, it is important to really actually follow through on that. And that means with a living situation as well. So yeah, I'm not exactly excited to hear that they're still living together. And I think that that's going to add just another layer of difficulty as they're deciding and as they're really trying to do life separately.
Yeah, definitely. Well, like we said, that Kody said that she is ready to start dating again. So let's ship these two. Let's see who do you think that they should date in the future? Should they stay away from celebrity life? Should they, kind of do the more normal thing? What do you think? Who are we shipping with them?
So, I think that it's first and foremost, it's important for anyone going through a divorce, it's really important to allow yourself to heal after coming off of, especially a 7-year, relationship, or even a 2-year, even a 3-year, whatever, even a couple months. If it's a serious relationship, it's important to take a step back, take that time to really do the self-work, get to know yourself again, build that self-worth, that self-trust, that self-esteem, and really build yourself as a solo person, because they've been Kody and Tom for so many years. So it's going to be important for them to both take a step back, do the healing, do the self-work, get into therapy, like really go for it. Because it's not easy, even though they may be, I know Kody's like, I'm ready to date again. And that's exciting and great. And I will definitely help matchmake her when she is ready. Okay. What do you think about this, Christina? So for Kody, I was thinking Jason Oppenheim.
Oh my God, he would be perfect. Well, yeah, I think he would be great. The only thing is that Kody does want kids in the future and Jason is a little against it. So I don't know, but I do like that match. I think that they would be great together.
Yes. Okay. So personality wise, love her with a businessman bow.
Yes.
Like love a businessman, love somebody in real estate, somebody also in LA and in the scene and everything, because that's so where she's at. But yes, the kids element. Thank you, Christina, for checking that.
Good choice, though. No, I like that, though. I think that they would look good together, too.
Yeah. I am loving Tayshia Adams' Bachelorette, former Bachelorette.
Yes.
I think personality wise, like they would really complement each other. And Tayshia is just that like sweet and warm, yet driven and bold. And I also loves being out and she's at that place. They're kind of at an equal level in where they're at. And I feel like on the same chapter as well. So once they both take the time to like step back, do the work, do the self-healing, find self-love, self-esteem, all of that, then that's who I would match.
I love that. And I would love to see Tayshia on Vanderpump.
Oh my gosh, how much fun would that be?
So much fun.
Crossover that we all want.
Yes, Kody on Selling Sunset, Tayshia on Vanderpump. Perfect. I love it. All right. Well, celebrities were out in full force this week and had some memorable date nights, but we have to talk about Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson. She captioned the photo of the two of them late night snack. The two had, of course, a late night meal after the premiere of the Kardashians when they attended their first red carpet together. And a lot of people, maybe still be scratching their heads about why this relationship is happening, what's going on with them, but we want to know why it works. So Alessandra, why does this relationship work for Kim and Pete?
Oh my goodness. Pete is literally the opposite of Kanye in terms of basically everything. Pete is also this, like, Pete has left so many people scratching their heads of like, wait, what? Like Ariana Grande, Phoebe Jennifer, like Kate Beckinsale, Beckinsale. I always say, okay, I always butcher her name. But I think that Pete brings a lot to the table that Kim had been lacking in her relationship with Kanye. When Pete is in a relationship, and he's even said this, he goes in 150%, and he treats every woman that he's with like a queen. And he is like laser focused on the woman, on the relationship. He also has always said that he's authentic, he's honest, and he's open. And he's all about that communication, which is something that every woman craves. I will also say that there are similarities between Pete and Kanye in terms of they've both been very open with their struggle with mental health. But I feel like Pete has almost been more of an advocate for the kind of saying like, hey, this is what I'm struggling with, but I'm on it and I'm getting help and I'm making the changes that need to be made. I'm taking my meds. He literally was like, as long as I take my medication, like stay on your meds. So I think that this is something different than what Kim has dealt with in the past. So Kim is used to this really intense highs, lows, all of this with Kanye, whereas with Pete, there's still that excitement and that, that passion and that state, but it's also a lot more balanced.
Right.
Also, if you look at their dates, I love that they're doing all of these like very normal kind of like old school dates. And Pete brings that to the table. Like they went to like Coney Island.
Right. Yeah. They went to, right. And then like one of their first dates was like at an amusement park and like, and I just feel like even like, I don't know Kim Kardashian, but just watching interviews and things like that, she just seems more calm. And she even said that she's more at peace and she just wanted to, this was a time in her life that she wanted to just have fun. It happened when she least expected it. And he's giving her something that she was lacking.
Yeah. She said, she's like, my superpower is being calm.
Yeah.
It is like, Kim, that is your superpower. I wish I had that.
Seriously. No, I'm so excited for her. She just seems really, really happy. And it seems like this, and, I feel like she's handling the whole Kanye situation with such grace as well.
Oh my gosh, such grace. And I think that, him and Pete are having a bit of a spat, right. But yeah, Kim's role in that has been, she has not said a negative word about Kanye. And that is the Kardashian women's, that's the way that they handle everything. Even like Khloe and Tristan. Right. She is not saying a bad word about Tristan. Like he literally had a baby with another woman while they I can't. If it was anyone else, a normal human reaction would be to slam them, but they're all about co-parenting. Yes. And they know that this person is in the Kardashian clan. Like they're a part of it. They're going to be a part of my life forever. I don't want to sully this relationship for my children. So I think that's also Kim's mindset as well when she's handling Kanye.
I would love to know when the cameras aren't rolling, when nobody's there, what is being said behind closed doors?
Right. Like what is being said? I can only imagine, but those women are so strong.
They really are. They really are. All right. Well, let's move on to our Love Lives with Us, where we talk dating, relationships, and so much more with our favorite stars. And this week we caught up with the one and only Jessica Simpson, who revealed how she keeps her romance alive with her husband, Eric Johnson. How would you describe your marriage today? And how do you keep things romantic with 3 kids running around?
Well, we definitely have to have date nights and our kids respect that. If we're like mom and daddy, like even if we're on one side of the house, that's a date night. We just like whatever we can get. Time alone is really important because we both inspire each other. He motivates me every day. And I'd like to say that I do that for him. We settle each other in a way that nobody else can. And I think it's just like a thread of like woven, like deep love that deserves to be honored. And so our kids respect that. If we need time, we'll be like, Mom and Daddy need time. Don't go on this side of the house for an hour. But we'll go on a walk together and we'll like solve all of life's problems. And we'll come up with ideas and be inspired and creative. My husband and I mean, it's definitely a yin and yang thing.
Definitely. How would you describe your marriage right now? As the years kind of go by and, as relationships change, how would you describe where your marriage is right now?
I mean, we're only at the beginning.
Right. No, that's true.
I don't feel like our marriage has been long, but I feel like I've loved Eric my whole life. But I guess in the moment I met him, like it felt like a marriage. I was actually reading yesterday. I came across my 30th birthday. We celebrated in Capri, and I took him on the trip, but I'd only known him a month. And the letter that he wrote me about, he wrote a letter about the what love means to him and like the ideal relationship, and the things that he wrote out. I was like, wow, we are those things. Like, and that was when I turned 30. So that was a long time ago. But we, Eric and I set intentions, and we're very good at manifesting our dreams, and we're very good at creating a safe environment for each other, to be ourselves. Like if we rarely fight. If we do, it's more conversational, and it's not like he's right or she's right, whatever, it's not about winning. We really do listen to each other. And I think that's really important in a marriage, and it keeps it less one-sided. If you listen to somebody's perspective on something, it broadens your own.
Yeah, definitely.
And to me, that's what makes us work. And we're very compatible in that regard. And he's the best kisser in the world.
They are definitely one of my favorite Hollywood couples. And she just seems so happy too.
Jessica this is her season. She is thriving. She's living her best life. And she just lost 100 pounds again.
Crazy.
I can barely lose trying to get off the pounds from Thanksgiving still, but Jessica's like 100 pounds gone. I'm like, oh my goodness, Jessica, bless you.
Seriously, so, I'll have what Jessica's having.
Yeah, right.
All right, well, let's take a look back at a relationship that has everyone talking in our relationship rewind. It has to be Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez. Of course, he popped the question with an 8.5 carat natural green diamond center stone. Oh my God, it's so good to be Jennifer Lopez. And of course, this comes nearly 20 years after he proposed in November of 2002. So let's take a look back at their relationship. I cannot believe that 20 years later, they are getting a second chance of love after meeting on the set of Geely. Remember that box office bomb back in the day? But isn't it crazy that 20 years later, they found each other once again?
20 years in the making. Yeah. This couple, this relationship, they are like second chance. And it's almost like they give this unrealistic expectation of people that like want to get back with their exes, because the likelihood of this happening, when you literally look at research, it's so few. There are so few instances where this really works out. But I love this couple. But Christina, what do you think about the ring? Am I the only one who's like not about the green diamond?
Same. I kind of was like, I loved, it was funny. Like if you go to usmagazine.com, we have a gallery of all of her engagement rings. And yeah, it wasn't, I feel like maybe we're not getting a good look at it because like she's been showing us in videos and it's a little blurry. I need like a real solid photo of this ring because I mean, green is her favorite color. It's her lucky color, like she said, but yeah, it wasn't my favorite. I kind of like the one from 20 years ago.
I know the 20 years ago one, like I just re-proposed with that. I remember that beautiful pink diamond. I know it looks like kind of like what you would get out of a gumball machine. And like, Ben, I'm sorry. I feel horrible saying this, but like, because it's not emerald, right?
Right.
It's just a green diamond, which is just, it's very like Gumball Machine vibes. So I'm not here for it, but I'm here for their happiness. I'm not here for, right? Like we want them to be happy.
Yes, I totally want them to be happy.
Totally. I wonder if she likes it because maybe maybe she was like, oh God, he really took my favorite color like a little too far.
Like, you didn't make it that literal, Ben. No, you're so right. I would love to know what everybody else thinks. Are you a fan of this ring? Which one is your favorite? I would love to know, but they've gone through so many different phases of their life before finding each other. Like she was married to Mark Anthony. He was married to Jennifer Garner. They both had children. She had fresh come off of her engagement to A-Rod. And then like a month later, she was back with Ben. I mean, were you surprised as a matchmaker, were you surprised that she kind of moved along so quickly? And would you suggest getting back together with an ex like that?
I mean, it was like, it was less than a month and they were already hot and heavy. Mm-hmm. I definitely would never recommend this for anybody. I think it's so important to really, like with Katie and Tom, after something traumatic happens, and JLo went through a trauma with A-Rod. Like A-Rod we thought that this was the be all end all celebrity couple that we were going to, tell the grandkids about, like, oh my goodness. And everyone emulated their relationship. They were this power couple. They were just so in love and so like boss, like it's such a power couple. So the fall from that was so intense and so aggressive and so like ridden with all of this drama and gossip and just, it was messy. Like A-Rod was messy. So JLo went through a trauma and then to just jump into a past relationship that it makes sense because for her, that was probably a safe place where she could go. And this is also with the idea that the external factors were the reason for the demise of the relationship. I don't know. I've never, date coached JLo,
right?
But love JLo.
Yes.
If there were these external factors and if it wasn't something that was a real deal breaker, it does make sense that her mind would go to that place and be like, you know what, why not? Let's go for it.
Yeah.
But I think it was way too soon. I think that anybody getting out of any kind of traumatic situation or breakup or relationship, take a beat, just take a couple months. The 3-month rule is always magical because then you can really take a step aside, get a clear head, and then come back into the dating scene just strong as opposed to coming from that place of I've been broken down and, I'm still trying to heal.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to see this wedding now. Oh my God.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I know. Hopefully it's not as like green. The dress is like green or something. Oh,
green everywhere. All right. Well, Alessandra, before we wrap up, we wanted to show off our PDA pick of the week. So which couple got you talking on social media this week?
Okay, so the couple, I can't help myself, but I love Teresa Giudice and oh my gosh, and how am I forgetting his name?
And Louis.
Oh my gosh, and Louis. Oh my gosh, I'm like obsessed with them. I love Teresa and Louis. I just, that anytime that they post anything, my heart just sings. And I've loved watching their little dramas happen on this season of Real Housewives of New Jersey. And it makes my heart so happy to see them happy and to see Teresa happy. I mean, she's just been through so much. And finally, this is a man that's like really treating her the way she should be treated.
So true. What do you think about her being so defensive about everybody talking about Louis' past?
I mean, I get it. I mean, that's Teresa. I mean, we've watched her over many years and she will defend to the death. Like she will go to prison for her man, defending her man. So I'm not surprised. And this guy is so lucky to have her because she is a loyal woman who will defend him till the end.
Yeah, totally. I couldn't agree more, but she seems so happy. So good for her. And then mine goes to Brooklyn Beckham and Nicola Peltz. They got married over the weekend in this star-studded, beautiful wedding down in Palm Palm Beach. I mean, you see the photos. I mean, she looked absolutely stunning. And it seems like they're really, really happy and in love. Victoria and David Beckham were there. Eva Longoria was there. I mean, this was the wedding to be at.
100%. It's so funny that it was literally at her house.
I know.
But it looks like they were at a castle.
It really does. I thought it was like a castle, like a runway or castle. It was crazy.
Yes. And their relationship dynamic is also so interesting because he had to get a prenup. So, you know what I mean? And you heard about the last name situation.
Yes.
So he's taking her last name as well.
Yeah.
So I'm like living for this.
Living for it. He already changed it on Instagram too. So it's done and done.
I love this. I think this is maybe like gonna, especially with Gen Z, I feel like they maybe will like take on this trend.
I'm kind of here for it. I absolutely love it. Well, Alessandra, thank you so much for breaking down all the relationship news this week. This was so much fun.
So much fun.
I loved it. For more on your favorite couples, make sure to subscribe, keep commenting, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.